Sorry for this technical glitch. So now we are proceeding for the session. Good morning to everyone present here, online and offline. Our respected Principal Sir Ramanujan College, our esteemed resource person, Professor R.K. Taylor. I immensely feel honored to welcome you all to this special academic event of refresher course, namely the title Integrating ICT in Advanced Research Methodology for Transforming Teaching Excellence. And today's lecture specially by Professor R.K. Taylor, that would be AI tools for research. Our respected faculty members, our students, I welcome you all for this session. Now I would request our TIC Pankaj Gupta and Prakhar to welcome our today's resource person, Professor R.K. Taylor, Chhatrapati Sahu Institute of Business Education and Research Director, Kolhapur, Maharashtra. I welcome you, sir. So now I would request Ma'am Sunita, welcoming by Dr. Sunita and our students for this lecture. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being with us. Please come forward. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all teachers and our students. Now I would request to all of you for the DU Pulgate. We need to stand up for a minute. सकल वस्तुधान नित्य कुटुंब की भावना संस्कृति सनातन आधुनिक शिक्षा पुरातन ज्ञान धाराओं का संगम सत्यम विमंगल की भावों का समागम ज्ञान का महाविद्यालयों के परिसरों से चिर सुशोभित जन कर रहे छात्र को छात्राएं साधना संकल्प से संस्कारों का जय 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 लोक अनुपम Were 8,478 citations for his research with an H index of 46 and an I-10 index of 147. He has received the Fellow of Commerce Gold Ambassador Award, Innovative Teacher Award, Young Teachers Researcher Award, and National Talent Search Award from multiple national and international organizations. He is a specialist in robotic process and automation and accounting in India. Professor Taylor is an international author, a writer, and an active researcher in the field of commerce, management, and technology. He serves as the editor-in-chief of the Academy of Marketing Studies General, ABDCD, and is affiliated with the numerous esteemed journals in the capacities of editor, reviewer, and advisor as well. Dr. Taylor is collaborating with numerous national, international publishing houses, including ICI Global, Taylor and Francis, and CRC Press, among others. He has 20 years of experience in research. He has authored over 50 books on various aspects of commerce management technology. Dr. Taylor serves as a RPA consultant for numerous academic institutions and business, having developed over 10 national and international patents concerning the application, adoption of robotic process automation across various sectors of business and commerce. He has received the Law of Commerce from the Indian Commerce Association, ICA, the Gold Ambassador Award from UN partner Tradepreneur Global Academic Platform, UK, Dr. Ramdas Senpai Award for Professional Excellence, the CMA Award for Innovative Teaching, the Young Research Award, among numerous others. Dr. Taylor has presided over more than 100 national and international conferences and the chief guest, resource person, keynote speaker, delivering addresses in Greece, Malaysia, Nepal, Dubai, Romania, Hungary, and Turkey, among other locations. Dr. Taylor has organized several training programs, FDPs, SDPs, the executive development programs outside India, inside India, as well as in the university itself. So I welcome you, sir, for the lecture. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. So it is my proud privilege to be a part of this MMTC program for delivering a session and a speech on role of AI in research. Basically, today's day is a very auspicious day because we have gathered to learn something new with the combination of AI. And it is very complicated for us to evaluate and access the AI because each and every day, whatever we are learning, that is based on new learning, innovation, impact, and actual assessment, whether it would be accessible for us or not. But I promise you all, this today's day will be very enlightened and remarkable for your journey in the field of research. First of all, I would like to give special thanks to the organizers of MMTC, especially Sunita Punia ji. Already we have connected since long time in online, but as I requested that I want to interact with you offline as well, so that she made comfortable to arrange everything, and then all the organizers of this program, so that they are connected through this vast, probable, innovative tool. As I recently heard about the Kulgit. Kulgit is a starting of any event because we remember the God, we remember our the blessings which we receive from the God for the successful life and development for us. So let us begin today, because ultimately we need to work on this AI. Now, first of all, we need to understand what is research. The research which lies with all of you, with all of us, what we know and what we don't know. So I am here, not here to train you, but I guarantee you today, I'll just tell you what you don't know. Because normally what we don't know, we never know what we don't know, okay? So just we need to identify what we don't know, then we run behind of that. So let us talk first of all, what exactly the research mean. The problem arises here. People are scared because as a student, if you're talking, as a teacher, if you're talking, as a researcher, if you're talking, there are a lot of things which we need to understand, that why we need to do research. Connecting with your home, whenever you want to buy anything from the market, we normally do some analysis, right? In present time, what happened? We have a lot of tools. And now all the augmented tools we are associated with these, like Blinkit, Amazon, Flipkart, or whatever. Like if we are talking about Gen Z, we need to talk about a lot of the podcasts which are available with us. YouTube Reels are available with us so that we can go beyond that. And trust me, it's very different thing that with the help of with the use of these AI tools, we can change our life. But that should be ethical, that should be serious, and that should be equivalent to be transparent for each and everybody. Because in research, everybody is connected. And the problem is, nobody wants to know and nobody wants to tell anybody how they identified and how they know something relating to data or relating to their tools. I believe majority of you have started research, or if you haven't started research, ultimately there's a pressure. As a student, you need to work on dissertations. As a PhD scholar, you need to you have a pressure to publish your research paper. As a teacher, you have publication pressure. Ultimately, there would not be there would not be increment or anything if you don't want to publish, if you will not publish your good research. So now what is research? Basically, let us talk about. And I request all the participants who are online as well as offline, please be interactive. Because if you interact, might be you will solve your problems. Whatever thought you have in your mind, you can discuss with me. And might be a lot of participants who are online, they have already heard me in many sessions. So today is again a platform for you. Whatever task you have, whatever problem you have, you can raise your queries and I'll be here to help you out. The first problem, what is research? So research, normally we say that it is a systematic process of gathering, analyzing, and interpreting data to solve business problems and make informed decisions. The problem here is, are we capable to understand that what type of decisions we want to take? So there are three categories of decisions we have. Might be everybody knows about. The first decision is called as operational decision. Second decision is called as routine decision or strategic decision. And third is called as complex decision. The operational decision related to the day-to-day task or repetitive tasks which are necessary, which need not to be necessary to ask anything. For example, if you want to join your institute, if you want to join your university or college, you don't need to ask with anyone that whether you will be going to your home or college or joining any work. That's a regular part, which is your operational activity for you. Then the strategic part is that where you need to take some permission. And we have a business hierarchy is the same part, right? So the permission is required for doing anything. That's if, for example, if you're a student, you need to take permission for in and exit of your class. If you're a student, you need to identify whether if there is any delay in your receiving the college or reaching the college, might be you took permission from the authority whether you will join or not. Similarly, when you are as an employee of any university or college or anywhere, ultimately you need to evaluate yourself that whether you should be on time. And if the time frame is not working, ultimately you are responsible for. That decision is known as strategic, where you need to take permission. Similarly, the third major important problem is complex problems, which could not be assessed by anyone. Sometimes we are in dilemma whether we can solve or not, or how we can solve, because there are a lot of resources available and we are unable to identify and retrieve the particular resources. Everybody is associated with Google, right? Everybody is associated. Now, everything, whatever you want, there's only one thing. Earlier, God knows everything. Now, Google knows everything. Whatever you are doing with your IP address. So in your mobile phones or desktop or laptop, you have one IP address that is your identity, like Aadhaar card. People don't know what is their digital identity. This digital identity is a very serious issue for you. Let's say, for example, if somebody stolen your Aadhaar card, you may be cracked, right? You may be penalized somewhere if it goes with some other people or wrong people's hand. Similarly, if your wrong ID, your IP address is going to some other persons which are not ethically working, maybe you will be in trouble. And you might have seen a lot of things which are available in many of the web series that people are working on dark web. And it's a serious issue. So going forward on the decisions, I would just like to tell you what type of research you are doing and how the AI will help you out in managing your research. And this is really very, very fantastic. So I normally starting with the particular web, okay? So normally I'm just telling you, while we are doing research, there are three categories of webs we are having. The first, everybody knows about white web. Whatever information we are getting that received through Google or any type of Mozilla or Chrome or Yahoo, or there are a lot of things, right? These are known as the web, white web, through which each and everybody, your identity could be hidden, but there are some important security issues which are already being measured with your permissions. So whenever you're logging in, ultimately they are asking your permission. So the permission is most important part. I'm connecting the same example while explaining the research in coming time. Okay. The second is called as gray web. You might have heard about cognitive window. Have you heard? Now, what the important thing of the cognitive window is nobody can evaluate what is your ID and password with cognitive window. If you're working, something could be seriously be hidden. So if you want your safe research, nobody could retrieve your passwords, nobody could retrieve your information. Ultimately, you can focus on cognitive windows. The third important thing, which is very risky, dark web. And now everybody is scared of how dark web is working. What are the codes through which we need to work on, and how, whether it is seriously approved for us for any research or not. In a lot of web series, you might have heard about that hackers are working through these dark webs. They can access everything, your ID, your passwords, your bank details, your location, everything, and they can screw. It is very easy. And trust me, this research makes you very good, innovative for managing and gathering this type of information. But now, when we are connecting in present time, we need to assess that whether this business research is really applicable for you or how you need to work with this research. So when you're talking about business research, we need to just conclude ourselves through only the market studies. Now, whatever you want to buy, it's not your choice. It's a choice of the companies who are making the important decisions with the help of their AI tools, right? So let's say if you're thinking about that, you buy something at very cheaper price and you think that you are a very wise enough, then we are very big fool. Because whatever we are buying, it's not our choice. It's a choice of these companies which are really ready to serve their products. And that relates with all AI tools. So let us talk quickly. What are the types of research we are having? So we are having two categories of research. One is qualitative research and second is quantitative research. Now the question arises that what is the relation between quantitative and qualitative? Of course, there are a lot of difference, but when we are talking in terms of AI, how these two research will be segregated? And what is the role of these AI tools? The major problem is we need to focus. We are doing all this research for evaluation. That's called self-identity. As a student, or as we have our account on Twitter or X, or we have Instagram, right? We all have our accounts. We all have our Gmail accounts. We all have our mobile phone accounts. Similarly, we need to identify our account in the field of academics. And that could only be evaluated or assessed with the help of these research identity that is based on your publications. And whatever we are doing with these, it is just for the final result of publication. As a student, if you are doing research, ultimately you need to submit your dissertation to your institute. As a teacher, if you are doing research, ultimately you need to submit your published papers to your organization and so on. So this research is associated everywhere, not even in industry, not even in business, not even in any sector, but it is also applied in the household as well. Now, moving further, who will satisfy and who will identify that your research is good? Straightly. And we are not aware about, trust me. So whatever we are doing, we say that it is genuine research. We did it. But now with the help of a lot of software tools, we can assume ourselves that whatever we are doing, whatever we are gathering, this is 100% genuine. Now, if I could say, as a student or as a researcher, if you want to write any report, you will not use your mind now. And if you are using your mind, it means you are not aware of these AI tools. But for that purpose, you should know what are the prompts which are given to particular AI tools. What are the important prompts which should be applied on identification of anything at Google. And we are searching a lot. For example, on Google, if you are talking about Ramanujan College, when you are putting Ramanujan, there would be 15,97,235 results you identify. But if you want Ramanujan College, you need to evaluate the crux of that which type of tagging which we need to apply. And similarly, we identify the best result from the Ramanujan College. That is a part of the main important called the S6 values. So when we evaluate, and I think it is a major issue of everybody who is online, that if we are submitting a research paper, 95% or 97%, the paper got rejected. And similarly, it's also a pressure of the student that they need to work, they need to submit a research paper when they are doing their dissertation. So it is also compulsory for all the students. You need to write dissertation and you need to publish a research paper in good journals. Otherwise, you will not get marks. The same apply for the teachers as well. Now, the selection is most important terrific part. How do we select the journal and how do we work on that? Now, the problem is when we start something rejection, and when we expect, and we did not expect the rejection, now what happens? Our motivation goes down. Whatever we think that if we are writing a research paper, ultimately that would be published in top journals. That does not happen with us. Reason being, we are not working in the right directions. Why? Because we are preparing our food and then we are serving to Chinese or Malaysians or to Russians, which will not apply. It means if anybody is pure vegetarian and you are making a food of non-vegetarian, how could I as a vegetarian will eat that? That's the same thing with our research paper or article which we are writing for. So this session is all about your research, major problems which everybody have in their minds, in their heart as a student, as a teacher, as a researcher, or as an authority. Because ultimately, whatever research you are doing, if it is not validated by the people, by the public, in the global world, you will not recognized. Fine. So let's talk about how do we need to work on the particular assessment of your self-identity when you are doing research? So I'm having some questions to all of you. It's a common question. I hope you will interact with me, and that would be really very good for. So the question is, why your research paper rejected from a journal? I wish some people will respond. Please make it interactive. And I guarantee you at the end of this session, you will learn a lot, and might be you'll have some tricks to publish your paper in good journals. Why your paper got rejected? Yeah. Okay. Topic. Fine. Anybody? Can we have online? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Contribution. Fine. Anybody? Poor writing of the article. Okay. Next. Anyone? Anyone? Only title would be there. Poor article writing. It's okay. 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 Fine. So I'm telling you why your paper got rejected. The paper got rejected because we are doing wrong. We are doing wrong process. Means we are following the end, and then we want to start with the top. Means to say, as you said rightly, your topic should be proper. Who will help us in evaluation of a topic? Because the problem is, it's a genuine problem of everywhere. When you talk to anyone, that what could be the topic? Neither your teacher help nor your friends help. I'm sorry, am I right? Because they said select your own topic based on the previous research. Now, as a researcher, you are not able to evaluate or assess that what could be the topic. Now, the biggest issue is what could be the topic. Now, when we are dealing for a publication, you need to evaluate the first, because when you, let's say, if you follow anybody, you need to evaluate that who would be your role model, who will be your mentor. So accordingly, role model and mentor, you work and you follow according to them. Similarly, when you are writing research paper or when you are writing an article, you must follow that which journal you are following for. Means to say, if you are foodie to eat non-vegetarian food, you need to identify the non-vegetarian restaurants instead of mixed restaurants, because there you can do better. Similarly, if you are doing for your publication, let's say you want to work on marketing, you want to work on accounting, you want to work on human resource and analytics or whatever it is, you need to identify first what and which journal you are referring for. For example, as a student, if you want to work in KPMG, you need to assess the roles and models for the KPMG and what are the possibilities, what are the skills are required for the KPMG. So normally what happened? When we are working for some industry, we are not aware about that which type of industry is, what type of jobs they are serving, what type of assessment is there, and how the assessment could be implemented. And in spite of that, we are just writing anything and we try to publish it in any XYZ journal, which could be rejected. And this is a major thing which we need to assess. Now, second thing, as some respondents says that clarity or let's say a language problem is there. It is 100% right. We are Indians. We could not develop the English as per the Britishers. This is 100% true. Now, in this matter, these AI tools will help us. So we just wrongly contradict all these, that we are using these AI tools in writing of the research papers, in writing or assessing of the literature review, in assessing of the tools and data analysis, which could be very dangerous for us. So we need to just evaluate that which type of tools and which type of assessment data or anything which could we apply as a formation of particular thing. So that language correction could be taken care by the AI tools. They'll give you the best way. But ultimately, what is your conceptual knowledge? What is your topic? What are your journals? And how you will evaluate that should be based on your mental ability. And that's the important part. Some says that maybe it could be published earlier. So you need to identify the niche areas for the present time. What are the niche areas and how you could assess the niche areas? That is to be taken care of by you. And it should be assessed by your mentors as well. So research is not a single particular activity. It's not not an activity of a single person. For that purpose, you also need to assess about your teachers or about your mentors or about your friend, and that should be a interdisciplinary research. Because sometimes what happens, whatever we are discussing, maybe we are not working in the right direction. That could be a major issue. Now, how the research will start? Because what happened, when we do research, ultimately we are doing as per our choice. And research is not a topic or not a cake of your choice. It's a choice of many people, which should be impact on the social relevance. If any research does not apply in society, ultimately there is no result for this. So what problem you have assessed, what problem you have identified for measuring the research, that is important part. And similarly, you need to work on. Now, there are some points which I'm just reading quickly to evaluate, to give some important ways. The first is out of scope. Now, what problem is, you wrote good paper with the help of your friends and mentors. Sometime it happens when you are submitting, somebody says, your paper is out of scope, hence it is rejected. They didn't mention that why it is not out of scope. So before going anywhere, you need to read out the policies and scope of the journal. If you have read, then might be you can evaluate, you can write on the basis of that. For example, there are some policies of using LinkedIn. There are some policies of using Google, because ultimately 15 GB space is available for you. If you want more, ultimately you need to pay. But after some time, what happened? We are not aware about that. But at that time, we give our permission by clicking. And after that, when we didn't find that what could be the space availability, then we are ready to pay. We are bound to pay. Otherwise, we may lose our data. That is a serious issue, which we need to understand. The second is lack of novelty or significance. Now, what is novelty? In present time, the data says that 90% of the research are generated by AI tools. 90%. It means it's a big issue. People don't want to use their own mind. I have a question to all of you. Have you ever read the 10-page full research paper? Have you ever read? Okay, that's good. Very good, very good. So I just want to counter reply, sir. Uh, to assess to assessing a person, I think सबका life निकल जाता है. I have the things from the students. Huh? Is it okay? You can assess any person within a minute or within a 5 minutes or one day. Then obviously not. Then if you could not assess a person in one day, how could you assess a research paper which has been published or worked by 1 year? It's rigorous study, rigorous practical exposure, and rigorous data analysis. And they have given you very good brief paper of 10 or 15 pages, for example, and you read that paper within 10 days or within one day. 10 days are sufficient for one paper. But within one day, if you are giving all the literature review of, let's say, 50 research papers, then you should be treated as a god, not a human. You getting my point? What I want to say? You must read, because earlier what happened, now this generation or this time, the AI tools are here with us. We are not reading a single research paper. We are using the research papers abstract only, And after that abstract, we just read out the suggestion or conclusion. That's it. And we believe that with the help of abstract, research, conclusions, and the discussion, we can evaluate the research gap or we can write literature review. It's the biggest mistake which we are doing. Reason being, we don't know how to cook food, and in spite of that, we are the head chef of a hotel. It's the same thing. So we need to just understand about that what we need to read. People do not know about the basic concept between extended abstract and abstract. Now, what happened? It is studies say that majority of research papers are written by AI tools and within a particular time period. Let's say if I offer you that I have a conference which is Scopus Index, and I can give an opportunity to publish your paper within a month. But the last date of submission of abstract is 3rd of December. Will you be able to submit me the abstract? Why? You are very genuine if you are saying, but majority of people can submit their abstract within 2 days. I think 2 days or more. They can submit their paper within 1 day to me. That's the biggest problem. How can you submit an abstract? How can you write an abstract without writing a research paper? It's the same for the human psychological part. If we don't know, understand anything, we cannot conclude. That's why the question relates to the novelty. What is your novelty? So people are lacked in the novelty that whether whatever data you have retrieved, that could be assessed by yourself or not. The third important thing is failure to adhere to the journal guidelines. Uh, Normally what happened whenever we submit any research paper of any journal, we never thought to read the journal guidelines, which type of font they want, which type of text they want, which type of size they want, what would be their page margin. They want single margin or double column pattern they want. They want some in-text citation or APA style of the references. So all these things are mentioned by a journal. It's like same of your report, diagnostic report. Everything is mentioned there. If you are working under that condition, ultimately you can be treated. But if you are not mentioning anything, your paper would be out. And these are the important part for. The next is poor writing or quality. That's the important part. Already it has been addressed. We are not expert in writing, guys, but whatever you're writing, you can evaluate and you can update. How you can update? There are a lot of softwares are there, but it's my humble request. Don't go with free version of any software. Again, I'm repeating. Don't go with any free version of any software. Grammarly is available for you. Quillbot is available for you. Or there are a lot of softwares that are available to evaluate your research or English, for example. But if you are using any matter for freely, which is available freely, might be your research could be compromised. How would I say? There are a lot of groups are available presently, and they are telling you that, yes, they are offering you the author position. Author position 1 available, 2 available, 3 available, 4 available, and they are charging some amount from you. And we as an academicians, we number of time try to pay the amount for our publication. That is a very serious offense and serious issue, because I do not say it's wrong, but it's just due to lack of information. Because people do not know how to handle these things. Have you ever thought that whatever matter you are submitting to XYZ domain or XYZ, any tool for, let's say, about your plagiarism or any type of your own work, any type of assessment or report, that is to be stored. Have you ever thought about who are working behind the screen? Have you ever thought about? If you thought, you're seriously, because you need to talk about your privacy and ethical concerns. If you're not thinking, just think. So already it has been identified that that AI or ML are working on the pattern recognitions. Similarly, as per our mind. But our mind is working with 6 more qualities as compared to AI and ML. And they knows only 2 qualities. So it means they do not have innovation. They do not have any emotions. They do not have any capability for understanding. So all these things are essential while managing all. If we are doing ultimately, that's the great part, which we need to understand. But for poor writing quality, yes, you can use Grammarly, you can use Quillbot, but please use only paid version of these software. Gemini AI is not free, my dear. It's free for some time. But when you are going for Gemini 4.0 professional, then your data would be safe. Yeah. So free is nothing is free in the world. If you are thinking that it's free, just use. Let's say you are putting something, you want to evaluate that, give me some data or give me some information about XYZ. And you are again, because see, Gen Z and present time people are very smart. They are using very good things. They develop, let's say many of the researchers are developing the research papers with AI tools. They are then removing their plagiarism as well as the detailed part for this. So ultimately they're responsible because now you are claiming that I haven't used any AI tool. But after that, when it is published, because as an editor, we have some softwares to detect your errors. And if you identify it, ultimately you may be blacklisted for publication. So it's better to, you can contact your organization or your college or schools. They have their own paid softwares that could be genuinely generated. And they'll give you a certificate for this. Don't go on free softwares. Because in this world of AI, don't believe yourself. गूगल पे सब कुछ मिलता है खुद को छोड़ के सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन ज्यादा करो सेल्फ इवेलुएट करो सेल्फ रीडिंग करो यू विल गेट बेटर नाउ नेक्स्ट इज methodological flow. Now people do not know how to write methodology. Okay, normally when you are writing a research, it has been given to you topic search करना है 5 chapter बनेंगे. First chapter would be your introduction, second review of literature, methodology, data analysis and interpretation, and conclusion. The same pattern we need to follow in research papers. But what could be the right path of writing a research paper? That is most important. Because whenever you are writing a research paper, you need to assess that what type of journal wants, what methodology they want. One side you are telling that, yes, I have collected the primary data. I have collected the data through questionnaire, right? But whenever you are forwarding the questionnaire in present time, let me finish. When you are forwarding your questionnaire, because ultimately to whom you need to evaluate for your data collection, who is your respondents? After drawing your questionnaire, whether you have validated the questionnaire, if you have validated the questionnaire, to whom you validated? Are the expert for? Have you done pre-testing? Bole to pilot testing, have you done it? If you completed the pilot testing, then what happened? Then how much questions you have removed or redrafted? So each and everything should be mentioned in your research process. Then after that questionnaire could be verified. So there's a very good crux for this, that if you want to apply any primary research, you can apply pre-validated questionnaire for collection of the data. Now, what is pre-validated questionnaire? The research questionnaire, which has already been applied in some research related to similar kind of. For example, you are talking about behavioral intentions of customers on marketing. And if such paper you find out, which has already been published, that is pre-validated scale. You can use the same by giving proper references. And one important thing, it's better to write a mail to them who are the authors, get permission that you are using the same scale, but without permission, if you are using the scale, ultimately, you are compromising your privacy and ethical concerns. You are breaching the ethical concerns, which may be very serious. Not now, but after some time. So these are the very important serious issues. Now, incomplete or unclear story. Now, what is? Let's say if you have a movie, in one movie, you find out some romance, some fight, and at the end, there's again a romance. That could not match. So each and every step, if you're writing some introduction, each and every step, you must identify, focus on some introduction with the flows. What are the gaps? Why you are inclined to do research? What motivates you to do the research? I'm sharing with you. I'm working on students' attitude, okay, in a higher education. And my major area in the present time is adoption of technology, adoption of robotic process technology by the student using chat GPT or any softwares. What intentions student have? Ultimately, if I give any task to anyone, they'll submit me any file or any practical file by tomorrow. No AI quotient would be there. No plagiarism would be there. But when I ask with them the conceptual knowledge, they do not have the conceptual knowledge. They know how to complete the work, but what conceptual knowledge you have, that is a serious issue which you need to concern about. So the uncleared story is very serious. If you don't know the unclear story, if you don't know that something should be cleared, something should be declared. Let's say about how to write introduction. People are writing the introduction along. They put some do's and don'ts. They put some features. They put some separate review of literature, which is not required when you are writing good paper. Only introduction requires at least 50 references in introduction. If you are writing 40, 40 should be minimum. But these 40 minimum references should be there in your introduction. And these should be with validated journals. Don't use any peer-reviewed journals for. And if the peer-reviewed journals, any author is very good, you can use this. But everything, whatever you're using, any picture, any diagram, any figure, any table, any data, whatever it is, that should be proper referenced. Because research is just a combination of references. To whom you have collected, by whom you have collected, you need to mention. Even if you have used Quillboot, if you have used Grammarly, please acknowledge in your paper that you have used Grammarly to improve the English. It is validated. It doesn't mean that you are doing some wrong thing. Yes, sir. Okay. So for your updation and ma'am's updation also, my citation has crossed 9,800. My H index is 60 and I-10 is 170. And I have written 150 books, top journals. Okay. In spite of that, I'm unable to write a review paper yet. Got it? I think I have given you this. In spite of these, I am unable to write a review paper. When I am not able to write a review paper, guys, how you can write a review paper? Review paper requires a lot of experience and in-depth knowledge of the subject. After assessing and implementing all the authors who are doing in this field, and it requires rigorous 15 years of a subject expertization of any research publication on the same field. Then after I can conclude that these 100 research paper I have reviewed, and on the basis of that, this new thing could be applied. The second thing, for the methodology and the topic, it's most important for us that when we are writing a research paper, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Whatever you want to eat. Let's say if you want to eat some Chinese today, ultimately you need to search Chinese restaurants. If you want to eat some pure veg restaurants, pure veg food today, you need to search pure veg restaurants. We are doing the same, right? In the research also. You need to evaluate journal first based on your theme on which you need to work and which are the top journals. Then you need to read some research paper from these journals which are published, what type of writing style they have, what type of their methodology, what type of their selection criteria. Let's say if the selection criteria is 1% and you are writing a research paper, you are submitting 100% is rejected because their selection criteria is 1%. So you need to just check yourself. Self-evaluation is required while doing research. सर ऐसा बोला जाता है कि चांद पे इंसान पहुंचने वाला है, यू आर द फर्स्ट पर्सन मैंने सुना कि जब सबसे पहले चांद पे जाएंगे, है ना? तो ऐसा ऐसा बोलते हैं लोग, कुछ भी बोलते हैं, ऐसा नहीं होता. इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि आप उसी जर्नल के कुछ रेफरेंसेस डालें. नहीं नहीं नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. कुछ नहीं होता. These are the mistakes and these are the myths basically which people normally have. Problem ये है कि when you are submitting your research paper in top journals, ultimately you need to be aware about what type of quality they want. If you are working with the same quality as per their requirement. Now, one more important thing. There are in this part, I would say, people says that when you want to publish your research paper in top journals, you need to pay some fees, right? Yes, any Scopus Q3, Q4, or any Scopus journal, you need to pay some fees, approximately 50,000, 30,000, 40,000. Yeah, I have my lot of papers in Q1. I never paid a single rupee to them. Q1, top 50 journals, not a single paisa. Even I'm receiving the money from them. It means it's a myth again. Now, what the structure is, I'm telling you. Let's say if you selected a journal, like recently I published one Q1 journal, it's called uh, Journal of Ecotourism. It's based, the paper was of ecotourism, and we tried to work on the Odisha district. We target this journal because it is related to ecotourism, and all the research related to primary would be published. We target that, we submit a paper, we have correction two or three time correction we received, we updated, and the journal paper was published. It doesn't mean that you need to pay. The problem is, I'm repeating, we don't know what we don't know. And that is just because of unawareness of the things which are available. Normally, we always try to put shortcuts. We are more enthusiastic to get work done in quick time. But we are not evaluating that whether the work is or the process which we are opting is right or not. Now, why I'm telling you, let's say there are some students who need to work on the dissertation. Trust me, if your dissertation topic or if your dissertation publication is good, you may be hired by top companies as a content writer, and your salary would be minimum 10 lakh, 15 lakh, 20 lakh per annum based on your criteria. Whatever problem or whatever discussion you are moving on, like the present time is for AI/ML, right? So if you have your LinkedIn account and you are posting LinkedIn your thoughts on the basis of recently, if you read the LinkedIn news, 5 students from India has been placed in top countries on a higher package. Minimum package was 60 lakh on the basis of your thought and on the basis of your suggestions, which you like or don't like on the LinkedIn. So now, see, these AI/ML is working. These are the learning process algorithms. So ultimately, your liking and everything would be managed with the help of these. So you need to take care of it while doing, because it's like a driving of a car. You are not supposed to just look behind, just look front. You also need 360-degree parameter. And that's why we have 360-degree camera in your car now. Okay, that's a good example for. Now the next is a very serious issue, ethical concerns. Now, when you are submitting your research papers in top journals, they want ethical certificates, approval from ethical committee of any institution. What type of ethical concerns are required? That is mentioned as per the Helsinki concerns. Helsinki guidelines are mentioned. Whatever you are taking, let's say you are talking about some primary study. Have you ever discuss with the people? Below 16 years age, if you have taken, ultimately that would not be count. अगर आपने 16 साल से कम बच्चों का कुछ लिया है डेटा, उनसे पूछा है, तो आपने क्या मम्मी पापा से परमिशन लिया? That should be written. That should be written. Okay. Similarly, if you are saying that yes, मैंने Google form generate किया, questionnaire बनाया और उसको circulate किया, सब groups में आपको data भरकर आ गया. It's very easy now, ना? No need to work, no need to take pain. Why to take pain? Just develop a Google form, जितना भी ग्रुप में डाल दीजिए, कोई ना कोई डेटा भर देगा. तो क्या आपके वो जेन्युइन रिस्पॉन्डेंट्स हैं जिनसे आप डेटा भराना चाह रहे हैं? क्या आपके वो जेन्युइन कंसर्न्स हैं जो आपको जो समझ पा रहे हैं? फॉर एग्जांपल, यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट हायर एजुकेशन इन जीपीटी, व्हाट यूजिंग. Are you as a student can give me the data on that? No. But due to force, or might be just for the sake of enjoyment or passing the time, you fill that particular question. Ultimately, as a researcher, I got data, I try to implement whatever it is, approved or not. I try to put some statistical tools, data with me. I said, yes, this is my genuine research. It is not a genuine research. There are a lot of biases are available. How you are handling all these? That's a serious issue. So ethical concerns are more important when you are dealing with that. And then next is insufficient contribution to the field. Let's say you are talking about student attitude. Okay. I did a study on student attitude in the classroom interaction of the AI tools, but I'm submitting student attitude in cognitive behavior. They'll not accept this. Ultimately, I don't want that research. Why should I accept this? So as an editor in chief, I'm just telling you, uh, I'm managing marketing studies journal. It's a very high journal. I'm getting requests from all IIM professors for publishing their research paper in journal. Okay, it's a very high. Now, problem is when we are not assessing any research paper which is related to marketing study, we are not publishing. Now, some are very smart. Some teachers are very smart. They wrote paper on music, for example. At the end, they connect with the marketing study. One paragraph they put on marketing, and they says that this is aligned with your theme, which would not be possible. So understanding seriousness of any paper, understanding seriousness of the theme, if you are doing, you are the king, your paper would be published. Any question till here, online or offline? I think online people have any questions, so how would I listen? Anybody who have any question, they can please raise. You like to say, no? Yeah, go on. हाँ, आत्मचिंतन कीजिए. Self-reliance. Please read research paper first. What they want to say. Don't write more papers. साल में 2 लिख दीजिए बहुत है. 3 लिख दीजिए बहुत है. You want to publish 12 paper in a year. For example, sir, please, I'm not commenting you, please. If you want to publish more papers for the sake of your identity, that's not a way. Sometimes it happens then, like I'm just giving you an example. Uh, I worked on a research on education and integrity. Okay. I targeted top 10 journals of the world, International Journal of Educational Integrity. I submitted my paper. After doing rigorous work of 106 months, but it means more than 1.5 years. I submitted my paper on 2nd January 2025. 16th May 2025, I updated through all the reviews. All 2 reviews I have submitted. Whatever reviewer said, please do this, please do this, we did it. Still, today is 1st December. I haven't received any acceptance. Now, the question arises. What should I do then? As a researcher, what could be the prompt for me to publish this? Sometimes it happens that you are submitting a research paper and it is related to matching with the theme immediately and your paper would be published. Like recently, I worked on a chat GPT. Okay. I submitted in Q1 journal, Discover Artificial Intelligence. It is also related to artificial intelligence. Immediately within 3 months, the journal accepted and on 26th November, the paper is published. Q1. After 4 months, the paper in my hand. So it depends on, it's not basically for you that whatever journal you are targeting, you must see the duration. It's same like we are searching the duration you must have identified that you want to travel from Jaipur to Delhi to Kolhapur, for example. We do not have direct flight, just telling you. Okay, you need to connect through Bangalore or Hyderabad or Mumbai. Now, what would be your preference? Your preference would be minimum time. Which combination is good for you? So ultimately time would be there. So if you are identifying the minimum time, you need to pay 15,000 rupees. If you want extra time, you need to pay 8,000 rupees. That is the same thing which you need to apply for publication. The acceptance time is important. If you are focusing on that, they will give you first acceptance in, let's say, 365 days. It means you need to work or wait till 1 year, whether the paper would be accepted for you or not. So everything is mentioned over there. And for selecting all these things, ultimately, they have their all journal finders. What is the theme which you are thinking in your mind? Just put the theme and identify the 10 journals they'll show you. And accordingly, that particular journal, read the 10 or 20 research papers of published journal. Okay. And then try to work on that based on the journal guidelines. If you will do, I guarantee you first attempt में आपका Q1 निकलेगा. But normally what we do, we write research paper and then we are searching कि अरे कोई छाप दो, यहाँ डाला, वहाँ डाला, नहीं हुआ, reject हुआ. But we never try to update our research paper because we never accept कि कुछ कमियां है उसमें. We never try to update. Similarly, we try to evaluate and assess all the things. Right? Any question if anybody have? Yes. See, there are two different aspects. I didn't say that Google Form is not good tool to get the data or responses. But the thing is, you should identify in which group you are sending your form. Let's say, for example, just on a lighter note, what happened? One fellow was doing research on only this. I would like to share the topic as well. Impact analysis of working women's. Okay. He framed a questionnaire, he validated the questionnaire, and he converted it on the Google form. He floated in different groups. In many groups, the women participation in these groups were 10% only. He got the data of 700 people. Is it right? So you need to understand if you want to do genuine research, and I'm telling you one thing, in spite of writing 10 or 15 research paper, if you work on one paper, that one paper will give you a lot of credentials and citations as compared to. But for that, you should be serious on that. And then accordingly, you need to work. Any other question? So that Google form is okay, but you need to identify which target group you are working for. Where ultimately you need to work. Let's say if you need to work on a particular frame where your audience is there, that's a fantastic part because Google form is a very good tool which give you real-time access of that particular information. You cannot use any malification for. You cannot edit because it's a time is there. At what time that was the location, whosoever has filled, the IP address is also there. You can track anything. So if such type of data is available with you, ultimately that's a fantastic part. But you should aware about that what respondents are available with the particular group. If all the researchers are there, that's good, better. But what is your intention to evaluate the data? That you need to seek with us. Yeah. Anybody? Anybody from online? Great. Next, when we talk what and how we need to start, and this is very important for you all because you all are sitting here doing on phone. I think I have installed a device. Whosoever is connected on phone, I'll get the data after that. Okay. How much time you were involved in session, how much time you were involved in phone, how much time you are writing something. Everything is there because whenever I go anywhere for any session, the device is there because I'm a man of robotics. Okay. So I will assess what intentions you have and what are the way through which you are involved in the session. So please, just for you, because we cannot get any data without the concern. Recently, I talked about the ethical concerns, right? So ethics are there. I'm just informing you. So how much time you're involving me, your phone, everything is recorded here in the room until I'm here. So God bless you, right? Now moving further. Yeah, this for you only. Yeah? Before we start research, there are these 5 steps we need to identify. The first step is we need to identify the journal. Already we have discussed many things about that. Where would be, where you want to publish your journal, you want to work on national or international. And a good thing for you as a student, guys, if you are in research, trust me, you have a very good career. Very good career. Not at national level, but international level too. Because let's say there are top 5 international publication houses you might have heard about. IJ, Taylor and Francis, Emerald, Springer. They are hiring Indian students because they are very good in content writing. So if you see, there are a lot of editors who are hiring some office staff and they are paying very good amount to you. As a student, if you want to work with them as a collaborative partner for their research, you can join them. But for that, your content should be okay. Your content should be good. So when you are talking about the target of journal, I told you earlier, second important point is novelty and significance. Similarly, whatever you're writing, that should be your own. Now, this question which I'm expecting from you, I'm just giving you the question. Then what is the use of AI? If we are using everything with us, then what is the use of AI? Why AI tools are given to us for writing research? My answer on that, you can use AI. You can use AI tool to do anything, but you should be aware about the concept. Okay? The concept means sometime it happens that, let's say, I'll show you after some time. There are a lot of examples with. But let's say, for example, you took something from AI tool, they are telling you something wrong. But if you know the concept, ultimately you can evaluate or you can redraft as per your requirement. Because your intention is different and the AI tool's intention would be different. These AI tool will work on international level and you are working as a national level. For example, you are writing a research paper in Delhi. Okay. So Delhi people's attitude is different and the other people who are working internationally would be different. What their demographic factor would be different and they are talking about different demographic factors. So each and everything should be assessed. That's why we need to focus on novelty and significance. And that's the most important part. Now, research rigor and methodology. This is also important. Now as a let me sir. Now, as a researcher, what we say, we need to imply normally 5-point Likert scale. Okay, questionnaire framing. Then उसको क्या करना है? Data लिया. अभी then reliability निकाल दीजिए, है ना? Normality निकाल दीजिए. उसके बाद हमने क्या करना है? After reliability, normality, अभी चेक करना है कि हमें parametric test लगाना है, non-parametric लगाना है. After that, we need to just evaluate and identify that what is the conclusion, and accordingly we submit the paper. This process should be verified. Everywhere you cannot put regression. Everywhere you cannot put correlation. Sometime if you are not identifying the correlation or regression, you need to talk about partial regression, partial correlation, everything. So these things could be very, very important for you. So your data identity is also important. Data is whatever data you have, it is normal or not normal. There are some parameters. So if you know the parameters, if you know the access, then ultimately you can win. Otherwise, what happened? You are having a very like I would say, Adidas के पैक में आपको ना power का shoe मिलेगा, और ultimately you have paid for this. Means you are eating gulab jamun, but in gulab jamun you have some rasgulla. This is a layer of. You don't find any good research. And these are the major issues. Then ethical considerations are important. Why ethical considerations are essential for? Everything should be taken care of. Permission should be taken care of. If you are taking any recording, you must take permission of the recording. You can use any video, you can use any internet material. But for any internet material, if you're using, have you ever mentioned the date and time you have taken from the website? I think no. And after some time, let's just suppose that that particular page would be removed from the website. Who is responsible for? So that is the serious part. And the third is collaboration. You need to collaborate. If you are writing some research, just collaborate with your friends or any person who is expert in this. You can make him as a co-author. You can make him as a co-guide. Then your research would be okay. I think it's okay. नहीं बोलिए, मैं आपको बताऊंगा. मैं बता रहा हूँ. आपके पास लैपटॉप है, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट है, ऑफिस है, कौन सा है? 19. Okay. Do you have Office 365? Think so. Now, why I'm telling this? Each and everybody is working on Microsoft, right? सब लोग हम MS Word, PowerPoint, Excel पे काम करते हैं. Excel वही है, लेकिन लेटेस्ट में उसके एडवांस वर्जन है. जब आप उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन निकालोगे तो वो लेटेस्ट एडवांस वर्जन से निकल कर आएंगे. दैट कुड बी इजीली आइडेंटिफाइड कि वो क्रैक वर्जन है या ओरिजिनल. Like recently in Microsoft, if you are talking about my Office 365, Office 365 is inbuilt with Copilot and some AI tools. It means you need not to search every AI tool. Na? Whatever good for your writing, whatever good for your office management, these are already inbuilt. जब आप MS Word पे जाएंगे ना तो आपको Copilot लिखा है, उसको ट्रैक दे दीजिए कि I just write a letter for me for application or whatever it is, they'll write for you. So आपका टाइम बच रहा है. But as a human, what you do? You need to read out to whom it is addressed. कब लिखा है, क्या कंसर्न है, सीरियसली लिखा है कि नहीं लिखा है, वो पढ़ना तो एज ए ह्यूमन आपको पड़ेगा. But normally what happened, I think you must have read the news recently before 2 or 3 days in Times of India. There was information which was collected by Chat GPT. It was a news, New York news, or might be Pakistan or some Malaysia. I forgot that. But they wrote that whole news was prompt. The prompt was also published in a very good news. That is the part for. It means we are creating everything with the help of the Chat GPT. And the Chat GPT says that anything else if you want to do from it. So as a human, at least whatever you are submitting your thing, you need to read out all these things. And if not, ultimately your career is in stack. Before 2 days, Business Line was sending that in India, 92% jobs are available for AI. 92%. It means there are a lot of activities which are assessed for the youngsters now. In the field of research, 75% jobs are available. Each and everybody is working for the research. It doesn't mean that these AI tools will lose your jobs. But ultimately, you need to reskill and upskill yourself. Everybody knows about MS Excel and Word or Excel. But do you know what is genuine use of Excel? I think no, because we only use about CCP, cut, copy, and paste, right? We are doing that. We know how to create the table. Do you know how to convert the data from an image to a table? No, no. So that it means you need to something different. You should be something different while you're doing. And if you know something, trust me, you're the best. You're the best user for. I think I should give 5 minute break to everyone. You want a break or no? Continue. Okay, fine. Now, there are, when you're writing something, and this is very good for the teachers and students who are at writing scale, writing age, the starting of your research paper, these important things you need to understand. The first one is clear research question or hypothesis. Now, people do not know what is hypothesis. What are the questions? What are the strong introduction? What are the methodology section? I have a question to all of you. Let's say you have a questionnaire with you. Which would be better for your study, questionnaire or a survey? Do you know what is survey? What is survey? Yeah, anyone, please? Yeah. Okay. And what is, see, again, you are collaborating too. Questionnaire, you are talking. Questionnaire can be used for your knowing or unknowing respondents. But survey could only be used for your knowing respondents. Let's say I want to get some data from you. I can come to you directly. I can ask you. That questionnaire could be based on Likert scale, but survey form could be open-ended and closed-ended, depends on. Okay? That could be taken by the permission. Questionnaire, but nobody is going to ask the permission. Might be if you have work on some very brief research, तो आपको दोस्त ने दिया होगा ना कि क्वेश्चन फिल कर दे फटाफट से. Sometime. Have you ever asked कि क्यों करना है, क्या करना है? No. You're enjoying. Yes, 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 yes. No, no, no. And your feedback submitted. Normally we do the same, right? It's not a new thing. So that is a very serious issue. To whom you are submitting, why you are submitting, have you talked about the ethical concerns or not? And on the basis of your data, when you are submitted, then we need to adjust the methodology. What methodology should be applied? But here what happened, we all are super intelligent brains. We know very well, before getting the data, we know very well that we need to apply which test. We apply correlation, regression, we apply blah, 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 okay? And then we say, yes, this is my conclusion. So if you know the conclusion, then you are a god. You are not a researcher. Getting my question? These are the things which we need to understand. सर शादी में गए फ्री का खाना खाने देते हैं ना? किसको देते हैं सर? कौन ऑर्गेनाइजर है ना? तो बस, तो वहां उस पेपर में कौन ऑर्गेनाइजर होगा? या या बस, तो वहां लिखा होता है ना सर, डेटा अवेलेबिलिटी स्टेटमेंट, data is secret, the data will be available on demand. Write a mail that you want a data, they will send you. पता है प्रॉब्लम क्या है इंडिया में ना, खाने की बात से फटाफट समझना है। अगर लाइटर नोट है यार, so this is the serious issue. Whatever you want, you are roaming around on Google. Okay, you want to roaming around to Google because you don't want to take more pain. Google पे सब मिलता है, Google पे कुछ नहीं मिलता है भाई। Okay, आपको क्या करना है? If you want any data, let's say if you want to work on PLSM, for example, I'm telling you, sir, I was just saying, sir says कि sir PLSM का सॉफ्टवेयर बहुत महंगा है, you cannot buy. Have you ever wrote a mail to the company that you want to do research and you want PLSM for some time? Have you ever do this, sir? They'll give you 1 month free subscription. मैंने कहा था ना, मैं आपको वो बताऊंगा जो आपको पता नहीं। So the things are that these are very clear. Research is very transparent. If you know everything, ultimately you can learn. If you don't know, you try to learn, but don't use what? Shortcuts. Very good. You're listening properly. Good. So now the important thing is, see, research is a journey, like the car. It never reaches its destination, roaming here and there. If you don't have any object, you will do like this. You're wasting your resources, you're wasting your petrol, you're wasting your mind, you're wasting your energy. But after writing of research paper, what do you do? The submission is most important. Because earlier, what you do, you have identified a journal and you work accordingly. You identified a madam, okay? Like Sunita madam, you identified. कि मैडम का एरिया डिफरेंट है, मैडम इज वर्किंग ऑन लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल टेक्नोलॉजी, you discuss with madam and you work accordingly whatever she wants and you are following her. But after that, you need to submit a project report, but which may be different from the teachers, which may be from the different from university to university or college to college. Right thing should be there. That's why we have acknowledgement section in your dissertation, or this acknowledgement is also in dissertation or any research paper. We have the same, a cover letter. Now, what cover letter is? Whenever we are submitting to anything, we must put some important tools or some important theme in your research paper. How the research paper you have addressed, who are the beneficiaries, and how it would be important for. So there are parties associated with it, what results, what is the novelty of the paper, and why they will publish. As an author, let's say you all are the students, and Sunita ma'am is going to introduce one research paper only. So you need to tell her why your research, why your dissertation would be accepted for publication. So something strong weight of your research, which could only be written by you if you did genuine research. If it is based on ChatGPT, again, there's a question. Then second is peer review process. Now, what is peer review process? In basically peer review process, what happened? When you are submitting your research paper in any journal, they'll send for peer review if your paper matches with the theme and objectives of the journal. If it is not matches, immediately within 1 day or 2 days, you got a mail from the publication house. Your paper does not suit with the theme of our journal. Hence, we are rejecting your paper. It doesn't mean that your paper is not good. Your research is very good, but in spite of that, you please write next submit. That is very bad, and it pains here. You can ask some teachers when they got rejection. It happens a lot. Now the peer review process says that this is a blind peer review. There are some peer reviews, maybe different category of, and some says to change everything. Okay. Let's say recently I'm just telling you one. There are 3 peer reviews of my paper, which is very good. 2 says it's an extraordinary paper, very good. 1 says, I don't know what is the methodology. I'm not expecting the methodology. Now it means there's a question on me. That after third review, the 1 says that methodology is not appropriate, and the two both were agree. They says, no, it's very good. All amendment has done. Now, according to third, it means I need to revise whole the paper again and then just give a consent. So it is not necessary then each and everybody whosoever is giving you some review. But the next is you need to respond your reviewers diligently. Just satisfy them, whatever you want to say, whatever methodology you mentioned in your paper, whatever literature you mentioned, whatever research you mentioned, just tell them clearly. Because if they're satisfied, then they give permission for the acceptance. Otherwise, your paper will be rejected. Thorough proofreading is important. Nowadays, what happened? We are not reading our research. Whatever we are writing, 10 page or 12 page, we are not even writing. Even leave 10 or 12 page. If you are writing 1 page note, we are not writing. We are just submitting immediately after the printout. We are submitting and putting sign. Please read out thoroughly. That is essential. Moving further, consider open access. Now, there's a problem. Why the journal will be accepted? So there are a lot of open access journals are available, which gives you quick, fast publication. You can work with them, although there are some APC, but like recently, I'm telling you, after this, after end, I'll tell you more things which could be benefited for you as a researcher, as a scholar, and you will help all these things. Then next important thing is dissemination and networking. The most important part. What is your peer group? Who are your friends? Who are associated with you? To whom you are working with? And who are your co-authors? That's the most important part. Like, for example, Pawan sir, Pankaj sir. If Pankaj sir is writing a research paper and he made me as a co-author, I guarantee you first paper mein paper publish ho jayega. But if not, then there's a question mark. So there are a lot of things which we need to understand and we need to assess whether who could be the best parameter for assessing and how we need to understand and address all these. That is the serious issue. So these are the important things which you need to assess the title. Like first, somebody asked me that how do we identify the title? What could be the effective parameter for? These are for you. Don't use any too lengthy and too short titles. Don't use this. Use always appropriate title for you. For example, you're talking about student attitude. Just say adoption of chat GPT on student behavior in Ramanujan College. That's it. Everything is mentioned here. Your area, your scope, your uh, topic, your problem, everything is here. In one just statement, your thing is there. Don't use column. Don't use common abbreviations. Don't use hyphen. Let's say, for example, student adoption of chat GPT colon a study of Ramanujan College. It will not publish. Just make a crux. सर एक हम लोग बहुत बड़ा आशीर्वाद है हम लोगों को कि हम टीचिंग में है ना और हमारे यहाँ लैंग्वेज डिपार्टमेंट होता है ना उसमें इंग्लिश पढ़ाने वाले प्रोफेसर होते हैं आप अपना पेपर उनको दीजिए ना yes and give credit put their name in acknowledgement put their name in acknowledgement होता है ना हम लोग डू इट अभी आपकी सॉफ्टवेयर हो गए ग्रामर हो गए आई रिमेंबर आई एम इन दिस फील्ड सिंस लॉन्ग बैक तो पहले हमारे पास कोई सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं हुआ करते थे वी राइट ऑन अ रिसर्च एनीथिंग ऑन अ पेपर जो भी हमने मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट लिखा वो मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट हम हमारे इंग्लिश के प्रोफेसर को दिया करते जो भी हमारे फ्रेंड्स हैं वो उनको पढ़ते थे वो बहुत सारी गलतियां निकालते थे इसमें ऐसे करना है तो बिफोर सेंडिंग फाइनल प्रूफ we have two edited copies from the English professors or there are some a lot of experts available in for English give them लेकिन problem what you can do you can talk to your teachers first or might be if you have any good friend in your class okay just make bonding my dear what happened we are losing our bondings now everywhere it is important We are having good friends on our LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook, but we never identified that how much friends are available in the classroom. Whatever the strength of that guy or whatever the weakness of that guy, might be that guy is very good in literature review. Because we just make in our aura. हमने अपना दायरा बना रखा है ना, हम उस दायरे के बाहर सोचते ही नहीं. हम सोचते हैं सिर्फ Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and we have a lot of followers over there. Am I right? Okay. जी. Okay. I just to give a the practical example. Okay. Practical example. For example, Professor Pankaj met me in morning. Okay. Before morning, he was interacted with me on phones, through phone, maybe on WhatsApp or maybe on call. Okay. Before call or WhatsApp, he heard something about me. If I ask you, just briefly explain who is Dr. Arkitil. Can you explain? चलिए छोड़िए, कल आप शादी में गए थे, बहुत मैंने कहा ना. Okay, yesterday you enjoyed a food. Okay, if I ask you, can you briefly explain the experience which you have taken, which you had yesterday? Can you? Why? Because you are emotionally attached with the situation. Because your observation was there. When you are reading a research paper, you are not connected there because your intention is to wind up these 10 papers in 1 hour. Because your intention is to wind up this research paper quickly. Your intention is just to read abstract and conclusion. That's it. You never took pain to read the details of the discussion, literature, how much citations were there, or what are the reports. That's are the major issues. So research is an art, I'm telling you. Just involve. वो एक बहुत अच्छा शेर है ना कि अगर आप किसी को दिल से चाहो तो सारी कायनात उसे मिलाने के लिए है ना. तो जब आप रिसर्च करेंगे ना, प्लीज सब लोग आएगा प्लीज. डू जेन्युइनली. Ultimately you will get that. Sir, it's not a magic science, I'm sorry. Writing and trust me one thing. You can write introduction, you can write anything, but if you are expert in LOR, literature review, if you know how to write literature review, trust me, you will be the best person in the world. And don't write on bibliometric analysis. Now, publication houses are not accepting this bibliometric analysis. They're focusing on different part. Like we have some different modes for semantic analysis. We have observational analysis. We have sentiment analysis. So when the things are here, why they publish these bibliometric analysis by taking the secondary data? So this is a second important question. And the last here in this slide, I would say readers engaging. Why I am reading your research paper? If you didn't submitting something, I am not going to write. I'm not going to read. So whatever you are writing, whatever you are mentioning, that should be attractable. Let's say I'm talking about, have you heard about AI? Have you heard about AI? What is AI? Okay. Have you heard about HAI? Have you heard about? Any one of you? HAI? Come on. Human intelligence, human artificial intelligence. Have you heard about metaverse? What is metaverse? Exactly. The virtual universe. It's a combination of HAI and remote sensing. Maybe in coming time, I'm just sharing with you the experience in the work, which I had work only. In coming time, your classroom would be a robotic classroom. You will find two teachers here, one me and one robot. So let's say if I skip anything, the robot will tell me, please, professor, explain this topic to the students. It doesn't mean that you have a physical robot here, but it would be from the system which we have already circulated. Now the metaverse, because now what happened, people are not focusing about their major issues. Now the issues around the globe is time, privacy, and ethical issues. We don't want to waste our time to reaching out, let's say, for example, to the college, because we know very well, for 3 hours you study, and for 6 hours you just roam around everywhere. So it's better to just join as a meta, sit at your home, join Ramanujan College, join your class, put your avatar in the class, your attendance will be marked accordingly. And if you feel, बहुत दिन हुआ यार, college, आज virtual college जाएंगे, you see the whole college virtually. Your tattoo, your image in would be there, your avatar would be there, you are roaming around here and there. You are sitting in the classroom next to ma'am, for example. You are giving your session here. Everything is in metaverse, but that is related to augmented reality. That is compassing with remote sensing and HAI, the human artificial intelligence. But ultimately, all these things are made by humans. So don't feel about that if the AI or augmented reality is coming in your world, you are going to lose your jobs. No, you have a lot of opportunities. But the problem is, if you are updating yourself, if you are reskilling yourself, reskilling the skills, then you can get good opportunities. Otherwise, you are in trouble. So it's better to learn many things. There's one thing which could not be stolen by anybody, your skills. Develop it. Okay? सर 11वीं चीज पूछ रहे हैं, बताइए. Come on. Okay, okay. Ma'am, done. Hello. Are you okay? Good morning. Coffee? Good. Are you okay? हाँ. जी. 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 क्योंकि उसमें आपने थोड़ा दिमाग लगाया ना. तो अगर आप थोड़ा, हाँ सोचिए, अगर आप पूरा दिमाग लगाते तो आपका पेपर कितना अच्छा होता. हाँ, तो आपका प्रॉब्लम क्या होगा, अगर आप ये सोच रहे हैं, तो इशू ये हुआ कि आपको जब आप सबमिट करेंगे वो पेपर और वो डेस्क रिजेक्शन में कैंसिल होगा. वो ऐसा इसलिए नहीं, मैं बताऊंगा क्यों. क्योंकि हम एज एडिटर, हमारे पास एक सॉफ्टवेयर होता है कि आपने कितना भी अच्छा प्रॉम्प्ट डाल के कहीं पर भी कुछ भी कहीं से भी आपने अगर एआई से यूज किया है या कोई ऐसा मैटर निकाला है, तो दैट विल बी आइडेंटिफाइड. देन यू कैन नॉट. सो गूगल पर आप सब कुछ ढूंढिए, पर खुद देखो पब्लिकेशन का सबका एक. Like for example, some are very smart. Like for example, पंकज सर, let's take example of पंकज सर. पंकज सर ने एक पेपर लिखा, बहुत अच्छा पेपर लिखा एआई से. उन्होंने उसको थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगाया और वो पेपर हो गया एआई फ्री. बहुत अच्छा पेपर है. पंकज सर ने एक डाल दिया उस पेपर को सेज में, बिकॉज सेज इज अनदर पब्लिकेशन हाउस. दूसरा पेपर डाल दिया उन्होंने एमरल्ड में, और तीसरी जगह डाल दिया उन्होंने टेलर एंड फ्रांसिस. पंकज सर ने सोचा, तीनों में जिसका भी सबसे पहले प्रोसेस होगा हम उसको एक्सेप्ट करेंगे, बाकी दो को रिजेक्ट करेंगे. इट्स कॉल्ड एज ए डुप्लीकेट सबमिशंस. एक बार पकड़ में आ जाएंगे, दूसरी बार में ब्लैक लिस्ट हो जाएंगे. इज नॉट एबल टू सबमिट एनी पेपर एनीवेयर. नहीं. जी. जी. नहीं करिए मत सर आप ऐसा. जी. अगर रिजेक्ट हो जाएगा तो आप उसको, उसका रिजेक्शन के बाद दूसरे को सबमिट कीजिए. जब तक आपके पास पहले का कम्युनिकेशन नहीं आता, यू कैन नॉट सबमिट इट. इफ यू आर सबमिटिंग, इट मीन्स यू आर डूइंग क्राइम. You are violating the conditions of ethical consideration. Now let's take a coffee. Okay. See on the screen. So what should be in LOR? These are the important thing, which is most important part. Normally, in LOR, always try to use lastest 10 years data. Lastest 10 years research papers. बल्कि मैं तो कहता हूँ यूज लास्टेस्ट 5 year रिसर्च पेपर. जितना लास्ट लेटेस्ट आपका डेटा होगा, जितना लेटेस्ट आपका साइटेशन होगा, आपका पेपर उतना अच्छा होगा. Because let's say you're talking about AI. I will share this slide, sir. This is for you only, and I don't keep it. This is most important if you are taking any type of data. You are talking about AI. आपने पेपर लिखा है, you have mentioned 1995 as a citation, 2005 as a citation, but you are not making present time as a citation. So I think 1995 or 2005 में AI इतना नहीं था जो आज में बहुत सारा. You should remove all these. But if you are giving in some background, you can use the basic conceptual aspects of AI that could be from 1800 BC. That should not be कि वो पुराना नहीं होना चाहिए. Now there are two contradictory statements I delivered yet. First, use lastest 5 year papers published in top ranked journals. Second, I said you can use the old one, which would be based on conceptual. So there are two factors. One is based on concept, and second is based on your present application. For the present application, you can use last 5 years papers which are published, recently published papers. Because whatever developments you have, you can find in last 5 years. But when you're going to talk about the introduction, or let's say talking about the background, that background could not be given in last 5 years. It would be from the inception, when the AI was formed. So that could be, you can connect. The second important thing is identify key scholars and debates. You must be aware about that in which area you are doing, who are the scholars. See, you are in commerce, okay? You're a teacher, for example. Your area could be different. Your teaching area could be different. Your research area could be different. Like I'm a pure accounting and finance professor, but my research area is robotic process automation. Robotic process automation. You see me on Google. After leaving, you all the students, please see me on Google, and you can send a request to on LinkedIn to me. You find out. My research is on robotics. So there are two different dimensions. People say, sir, you are from accounting and you're talking about technology. Research area could be different. But if you are talking about research, just focus on research. Now, my whole research is on robotic process automation in education and academia, higher education. That's it. And number of papers are published in very topmost journals. So accordingly, you need to work. Similarly, when you are talking about the scholars, if you are talking about some scholar who are very good in the particular area, you can connect with them. And just I'm sure for you, if you are identifying any journal and if you want to make any connections to the editors, they will respond you. They will help you out how to write paper, and if there is any correction, you can submit to them. But please beware, because there are a lot of agents are roaming around for the publication. Don't go for paid publication. Don't go for authorship. Don't go for some amount which is available over there. You should not be going. The third is summarize and synthesize existing research. Now, I hope I'm giving answers of Pankaj sirs. Summarize and synthesize. Now, what is synthesize? Basically, whatever data and whatever literature you are using, that data or literature should be clarified and concise. Now, earlier in my slide, I told you about the major issues, that how we are connecting with all these things, whether it could be associated with the previous data or current data. That is a serious issue. If you are unable to making some inline, that could be really, really dangerous for you. Means one side you are talking about that you are driving aeroplane, and second time you are saying that I am unable to drive a car in my whole life. That is a contradictory statement which you are talking about. So you need to just focus on how you need to assess and how you need to manage. The third is identifying research gap. Now, what is research gap? Do we know the research gap? We, as a human, what do? We never try to accept our weakness. Am I right? Even me. I'm sorry, madam is sitting at the front of me. Sometimes it happens, I'm very rigorous to listen what weakness I'm having. Because that's our attitude sometimes. So, meanwhile, on some positions or some situations, we should be very lenient to understand and listen. What are the errors? In research, what happened? We are not master. Even at this time, after doing these type of research, if somebody told me that this could be better, if you apply XYZ, the research could be better, please try to implement. Because we accept always the suggestions from the reviewers. And reviewer, if reviewer is suggesting, either you must have the strong recommendation why you apply, or you need to satisfy them by implementing their observations. After implementing all the observation, your research paper would be a diamond. And then you can say that this is a quality research which you have published earlier. That's why I told you that let's have a cup of coffee. Okay. So basically, there are 11 type of research gap. People do not know. Like it's like a same burger. 13 type of burger available all over the world. How much type we know? 3. Cheeseburger, aloo tikki burger, and mixed veg burger. That's it. In research gap, what happened? There are something which is really, really very serious. The first research gap could be your methodological gap. Second is conceptual gap. Third is your skill gap. Fourth is duration gap. So you can apply as per your choice, but you need to identify why the gap is available. Because normally what happens when we review, your review should be categorized in different parts. And then the concise review could be taken as a gap. But normally what happened now, researchers are just focusing on that they are taking some papers, they are putting on some AI tool, like Cloud AI is one of the AI tool which gives you the crux of the eliciting papers. Elicic is also one of the AI tool. Gemini Scholar is also the AI tool. Now, very good, I'm telling you. Google Scholar. Google Scholar has implemented AI. So even ChatGPT also associated with Google. So if you want to know any gap, just put the title and inform them. But you need to put your aesthetic as well. Give me the research gap of this paper. They'll give you. But it is as a moral responsibility of yourself that you need to read out whether the gap is associated with the paper or not. Because they says recommend the information of provided by any AI tool is not correct. You may please check. Yes, yes, yes. Then who is responsible? B. One paper I received, a very good citation, very good for everything. The DOI was wrong. At the end of after reviewing, I found out that the paper was fully created by and created by the AI. The author have not yet tried to check DOI. So you need to use your unused brain to make up your paper good. Now, the next part is you need to justify your research. How do you justify? How do you justify research? There should be a strong application in the society. Let's say if I'm doing something research on particular psychological barriers of the students, ultimately some result should be implemented to the society. If I'm doing something good for the society, your paper will be published. Otherwise, there's a question. I'm just want to share one thing. Uh, Gone are the days, might be before 4 or 5 years back, my students who are in BBA or BCom, second year, they published their research paper with me in top ABDC journals. Undergrad students. Where the good professors, they are unable to publish their papers. So means the important thing is your way of expression is most important and your mentor is important. If you have any doubt, you can ask them. And there are now what happened now, a lot of things are available. You can get everything. You can connect with everyone. But you need to evaluate because if you're thinking about that you can connect with a lot of people online, you need to identify whether their identity is fake or real. That is your choice as a human. Next is inform methodology. The methodology is like the coffee, which here is pouring into the glass. Which type of coffee you want? You want espresso? You want black? You want beans? You want filter coffee? Which one? So as per the choice of the data, it's basically not a choice. As per the requirement of the data, as per the requirement of the research, you need to apply. You cannot put everything as per the demand or as per your choice. That may hamper yourself. Now, theoretical framework is most important. You must link up with the starting why. That's called the WWW concept. When, why, and where. When it was started, when it was started, why it was implemented, and where it was assessed. Each and everything should be there in your introduction, and then it could be good one. And the last is everybody knows about plagiarism. Don't check your plagiarism freely. Please use plagiarism software which must be installed in your library. You must have certificate for. If you're using your free software, any software, to just pre-checking of submission, maybe your original matter will be taken care by anyone and they'll prepare a paper and that will be available globally at free of cost. So don't try to give these things. And this is for you. Thank you so much for patience listening and giving your precious time. Just quick, I'll share with that we need to work on with some additional pages. If I have, I'll just show you how you need to connect and how you need to assess all these. No, no. I think I'll share this slide to the teachers. They will give you. Yeah. So no, I have one thing for you. This was the another slide which I would like to share. I don't want to waste your more time. Huh? Everybody knows about this. We have discussed about, right? We have talked about intelligent tutoring system, adaptive content, and doubt solvers. Now all prompts are there. You need to use a prompt. And it's my humble request to all of you that please identify the prompt when you are talking about the Google. Google, whatever you are listening and whatever you are searching, that should be based on your proper prompt. If you are putting proper prompt, let's say, for example, Ramanujan College. Write Ramanujan College and put exclamation clause. You'll get proper Ramanujan College, only 10 results. If you are not using that, you'll get, just as I told you, 15,97,275 results, which may hamper your mind. Okay. Sir, data and technology is man-made. You can take help, but how to use in your life, that's your choice. Okay. Yeah. So I'll share this slide to all of you. These are the discovered literature review discovery tools. Okay. I'll share, don't copy please. I will share this with you. Okay. These are the important tools. You can use this for your literature. These are for the academic writing. Okay. Grammarly, premium. Now it is available. Let's see if you're saying that, sir, you want to work on mental health. Mental health of 50 students if you're sitting in Ramanujan College. This software will give you detailed perspective of research layout. Whole research paper they can generate for you. Whole. But after that, you need to analysis whether what should be there and what should not be. Similarly, PDF analysis. Right now we have some interaction for these tools. You have Julius, very good and fantastic tool. You have Perplexity. Perplexity is now added in your MS Office. If you have latest version, not pirated version. If you don't have pirated version, if you have latest version, that will help you out in measuring all these things, right? And similarly for the reference management system, reference management, there are two important reference management now being added with the AI. First is Zotero. Zotero you might have heard about. You please use Zotero. It's fantastic for. Okay, and then we have Mendeley. But the add-ons, it should be paid version. Again, I'm telling you. Don't expect free availability for you. Huh? Don't expect. Huh? Then moving further, Research Rabbit, it's a very good, fantastic tool for you to give your literature. Just put the topic that Research Rabbit will identify related topic, related literature for you, 1,500, 2,000, even 2,500. choice is yours. Around the globe, it will work for you. And the last, your start destination, road is here, how you drive, how you work, that is for you and you need to work on. I hope it's clear. Anybody have any doubt, you can ask. Any offline message? Huh. 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 Okay. Can I connect your personal life if you don't mind? What's your name? From where you are? बिहार में कहाँ से? चंपारण में कहाँ से? बेतिया में कहाँ से? मंशा टोला में कहाँ? Look at her. Okay. Is any location? Very good. Okay. Very good. The well expression. Getting my point? What I want to tell you. When you have all clarity, you can explain better. So it's better to connect not in your environmental part, but with the genuine part. Then you can assess how and why it would be required. But normally what happened, we just focus on a particular theme and we try to connect all. That will hamper us. That will not work with us. And if we do, ultimately the research would be better. Okay, I hope I'm up to your answer. Anything else if you have? Come on. That's why, my dear, what I said, there are two things. One is your teaching, one is your learning. For learning, you can use any source. There is no restriction. But you, as a referee, when you are talking about, you need to give particular reference. Yes. If you want to explain that, you can say, I have gone through with the YouTube video by Mr. X, Y, or Z. Then you are referring, it's okay. But if you are mentioning anything through a pen and paper or any printed material, it means it's a documented proof. So you should mention each and everything over there. Any video, any picture, any theme that should be managed and mentioned. That's why I ask you, in reference, it is not necessary that you just put only articles or references or books. No, you can put any video. You can put anything which is available on web. You can use any song or let's say any theme which is available. That is your reference. And nobody can say, nobody can deny. You can use the MS Word reference section. There are a lot of things you can use as a reference. But these are the valid. Like normally we say that we went some जैसे कल सर ने बोला शादी में गए अभी सर ने बोला कि उनको यहाँ बहुत सारा रिलेटिव मिला होगा ना किसी ने क्या कहा किसी ने क्या कहा he is explaining ना by the interaction so that interaction is a way and a process of managing all otherwise not. Yeah, good, very good. Oh, I'm telling you one very fastly. uh, Number one, fast publication, creating your own building, brand building. Let's say for example, अगर आप मैडम के साथ कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हो तो आपका फटाफट इमेज बढ़ जाएगा ना और आप मेरे साथ कर रहे वाले तो थोड़ा just try to understand. Let's say it's just like your branding. Who are your associators? Now, I'm just telling you one thing that you all are the students. You must have, I think you all have dreamed to be a part of a good corporate or good company, maybe a good package. If you do not have LinkedIn account, guys, please open and just connect with the good people. Because LinkedIn search engine is working with how much intention and how much innovations you have, how much people you are connected, which type of people you are connected, and what content you are writing. Normally, we are just doing like the, put your comment over there. That should be from your heart and mind. People will caught you. So these are the important things. Collaborations are essential. Let's say if madam do not have collaboration with me since 2005, I think I would not be a part of here. I would not be here as a part of your speaker. But the collaboration matters. Okay, sir was collaborating me since I think 1 month. And he tried to catch me here. Ultimately, I am here. If he was not a collaborator, then ultimately what happened? You see me online only. And I was also not famous, but means suitable to online. Interaction matters. Please be interactive. Leave these datyas. Sorry, everyone. Leave these datyas. Because these datyas have killed you, your mind, your innovation, your thinking, your critical thinking ability. Sharp, at least 2 hours, you should be on digital fasting. On a day, you should be on digital fasting. Then your mind works. Yesterday, I think I was listening something or I was reading where I don't know about, but this says that innovative ideas can come only some specific thing. One, when we are cleaning the dishes, जब बर्तन मांज रहे होते हैं, शावर के नीचे हम जब काम शावर ले रहे होते हैं, है या कुछ ऐसा. वैसे टू बी वेरी फ्रैंक, इट वाज रिटन बाय जॉक्स मार्लो in his book The Life of Death, that all the good ideas come at that time. When you are in toilet, you are the most innovative person of the world. But when you come out, all the ideas are flushed. When you are when you are driving a car or you are in red light, you have a good idea. But when you are out from the red light, you do not have, because you do not have habit to write something. Na? If you have any idea in your mind, guys, always keep a pen and paper everywhere. If you read about the Bill Gates life biography, he said that he is having pen and paper everywhere, in toilet, in kitchen, everywhere. So whenever the idea comes, you should write that. Jacob Thomas, 19,755 patents around the world, having pen and paper everywhere. Whenever he sleep, always keeping a pen near to here. And whenever he got an idea, he immediately get up and write the idea. Billionaires. So there's one thing who will never step from you, your thinking in your mind. Just develop. Please try to use mobile phone for your safety. Okay, but don't involve. Don't try to see lots of reels and all, because you are losing your life. Am I right? If you just see how much time we are spending on that. As a student, I'm talking about. I think 2 hours or 3 hours wasting our times. Just reading, even more. It's better to read the books. And trust me one thing, I know digital books are there, but as much as you read the books, as much as, please develop your reading habit. That conceptual knowledge would be different from you. And then you can bargain with your HR that you want 20 lakh package, not let them. They will pay you. Anything else? Very good. There's a very disparity here. And in Maharashtra, girls speaks only, boys didn't speak. Because earlier I was in Manipal. Since last 2 months, I joined as a director in Kolhapur. It's a very reputed institution. Huh? There only girls speak, boys not. So I always comment on the boys. That's why I know that why Indian women team won World Cup. But here the situation is opposite. Now I think you should work on. Yeah, good. Very good. Come on, tell me. Tell me. Bacha, that's why I'm telling you. I'm also a student now. Okay. So I believe 1 month is sufficient. See, you must identify the limit, range. Okay. What range you have decided? For example, you need to talk about conceptual papers. 10 papers are sufficient for conception. 10 papers are sufficient for your methodological aspects. 10 papers are sufficient for their discussion and conclusion. And 10 papers are for their implications. 40 are sufficient. Don't go beyond that. 50 में तो लोग बेटा research खत्म कर देते हैं, PhD. My dear, if you do 100 paper, then no, everything is possible. I can do 100. I'll share you one slide. Okay, use that software. That will help you out. But please read that. Okay, you can do it, Baba. It's okay. It's not a big deal. आज के ज़माने में ऐसा नहीं है. But you first download the papers. लेट्स से 150 पेपर्स यू डाउनलोड, ओके, एक एक पेपर को आप उस सॉफ्टवेयर में डालिए, वो क्रच देगा, वो पढ़िए, मैच कीजिए, पर पढ़िए उसे। AI tools are there for help you, huh? But don't try to mismatch that. कि नहीं नहीं सारा उससे काम किया, काम खत्म हो गया. Otherwise, I can also tell you some basic tricks, but it is unethical. That's why I'll not tell you. No, no, yeah. Yes, yes. My dear, let's say, yeah, you're doing, your teacher are asking that, what are, tell me the 2 or 3 papers which you have read. You must name the paper, author name, when you published. If you have the capacity, trust me, nobody is going to ask. But you should be remembering. What are the papers, title, author, publication year, page number, सब चीज 5-10 पढ़ लीजिए thoroughly. आपको आधे से ज्यादा लेटर से कुछ समझ लो, बट पढ़िए तो सही. हम पढ़ना नहीं चाहते और फिर 150 का दूसरे बनाना चाहते हैं. Then the question. Anyone? Okay, thank you so much for hearing me and patiently. I wish whatever I discussed, it will be really fruitful for you. Okay, thank you.
Just be seated for 2 minutes. We'll have a group photograph. So on behalf of Ramanunjan College, I, Dr. Sunita Punia, would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude from Department of Commerce also for sharing your valuable time, your expertise, your knowledge, experience with us, your passion for the subject and your engaging presentation style, the two-way communication have made this session truly memorable for all of us. Your words will undoubtedly have a lasting impact on all of us as we continue our journey for the academics as well as the research. I also thank Principal Professor Rajinder Kumar Pandey, OSD, of Ramanunjan College for his unwavering support. Thank you, TIC, Dr. Pankaj Gupta, for making this session successful, as well as all my dear colleagues and my dear students of fourth year as well as the third year, as they will also get some additional knowledge as well as some direction also for their research. The technical staff, those help us for this session, as well as the online participants. So thank you very much for being with us, and thank you very much, sir, for a nice and wonderful lecture. Thank you. And now you all can come for the group photograph. Students also.